Hi, this is Kyle, and welcome back to Kyle's Corner. And Arsenal has just secured top four, secured second place at the end of the season with one more game to go. Today, I just wanted to just have a retrospective on the season and take a look at what we need to do moving forward. On the game, just quickly, I'm just really glad that we were able to finally beat Newcastle and secure that top four spot because I was indeed a little bit scared that we're gonna bottle top four because I just was not I've not been confident the way we've been playing for the last this in the league in this half of the season. We've just not been good enough, so I was really nervous, but fortunately we kind of dug deep and won the strike from Declan Rice to so we can win the game and win the game comfortably so we don't have to be squeaky bum time against Southampton at the end of the season. So now that we've secured top four and we can kind of put the season behind us, I just really wanted to just take a look at it and just talk about what I think we should be doing forward. I think the best way to do that would be to just analyze what players we have, the season that they had, and the rest would take care of itself. I'll also be talking about the positions and what I think we need moving forward in this transfer window. So, to start off with the goalkeepers, I think Raya had an excellent season this season. He bailed us out so much at the beginning of the season, especially in that first half where we were a bit shaky and we were scraping by wins. Our defense this season just has not it wasn't as good as it was last season for some reason. It was still good, but it just didn't feel as solid. And I can't put my finger on it. But we let in more shots than we did than at the back end of last season. So Raya had a lot more work to do, and he showed that he's a very capable, very good goalkeeper. I think his shot stopping is good. He does get beat when the ball's a bit too high or too wide at times, but his reactions are extremely good, and I think what he applies from playing with his feet is excellent. I think he's the best goalkeeper in the league when it comes to playing out from the back, and it's something that we need. His ability to pinpoint a pass to the forwards and relieve pressure from the press from the back. I think he's been excellent, and we don't need to even think about upgrading on him. Moving on, Ramsdale was the right idea. This is definitely the guy. That being said, Neto, we got a cup-tied goalkeeper, and he played once, and it was probably one of the worst goalkeeping performances I've ever seen at Arsenal. It was absolutely horrendous, so much so that we never saw him again. He won't be coming back. It was a waste of a transfer. It might as well not be a transfer at all. We'd be in big trouble if Raya got injured this season. That being said, we're linked to Juan Garcia, and I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen anymore. There's a lot of ums and ahhing about it. It seems like Berta doesn't want him because of his price tag. I tend to agree because of how much business that we have to do, and Raya is just good enough. I think we need to find other solutions concerning that goalkeeper. We don't need an elite number two right now. We have too many holes to fill in the other holes to fill in other positions, and I think we should be getting either young gun, promoting someone, getting someone on the cheap. I don't think we should be spending any more than 15 million on a goalkeeper. I think 15 million on a goalkeeper might still be a little bit too much. I think we need to be digging deep and finding some solutions to that problem because we just have too much business to do in other parts. Defenders, William Saliba, shaky season this season, but a shaky season for William Saliba. He was still one of the best defenders in the league. I don't know what it was, why he didn't feel as solid as he was. A lot of mistakes, like bozo mistakes in big games for William Saliba. Obviously, he was elite for most of the season, but we saw a side of him that we didn't see. I don't know, it was because he was nervous or the Madrid talks had his head or what it was, but it didn't feel like the elite Saliba that we had in the season before this one. My guess is that the pressure to defend when our attack isn't actually doing what it's supposed to do might have a an effect on our defender, at least on him. And I just hope that next season he's better than he was this season. I think he will be. I think this was just a little bit of a wobble. I think if we address other areas and we can relieve the pressure from our defense, we will have a better season next season defensively, because the season was basically on the backs of our defenders. If we conceded, we were the defender makes one mistake and the game's lost. I think expecting to have a clean sheet every single game is just it's just not going to happen. We will concede. That is football, and hopefully by shoring up our attack and midfield and other areas, we can see Saliba perform better. Next offender, Gabriel. Gabriel had in my opinion, an even better season than he did last year. I think he really showed his leadership skills, and he was really. We saw him kind of level up. I don't know if it's because every season he's getting a little bit older, getting more mature, but he was very good this season. I think he was an absolute menace from the corners when we had him in the squad, to the point where we were probably relying on him too much. There was a point in time where he had almost as much goals as our forwards, probably more than some of our forwards. He probably would have had more than our forwards if he didn't get injured. He was excellent this season. If he can replicate that season, this season, next season, we're laughing for our defenders. Still, I consider the best partnership in the league. Even with an out of form Saliba, it was still the best partnership in the league. Nothing to worry about with our centre backs, at least our starting centre backs. Kieran, it's a shame that he's leaving he's leaving next season, and well, he's leaving at the end of this season. I think we could have used him more. His crossing was excellent. I think his defending is excellent. I don't know why Arteta doesn't like him. I guess Arteta doesn't like him because he doesn't invert and it doesn't suit his system. But it would have been nice to kind of keep him and have him as a tool. But the manager doesn't want him, and what you're gonna do? Can't do much about it. It's a shame though, because he's probably one of the best crossers in the squad. Ben White injured for almost the entire season. It's kind of weird not having a full season of Timber or White. Last season was Timber, this season was White. I think our attack suffered a bit because of Ben White's injury. For some reason, Timber doesn't overlap the way Rice does. I mean, the way White does. And I think that affects our attack. I think Saka likes the overlap, and that trio of Odegaard, White, and Saka worked really well at the end of last season, and not having White really kind of showed from that perspective. I really hope that he can make. He still looks shaky when he came back. He doesn't look fully fit. I really hope he can train this off season and get back to full fitness so we can have him in our squad. And yeah, I really hope we just kick on with him. We have Urian Timber, injured last season. Here this season, he's been one of the best players of the season alongside Gabriel. I think to come off an ACL and be as good as he has been great. He's been one of the best one-on-one fullback defenders in the league. I think he's very good on ball. He's very good defensively, and he starts over Ben White in my opinion. I think the only thing I think I would like him to do is maybe overlap a little bit more, kind of mimic that Ben White style football. But I mean, I can't really complain because he just provides something that Ben White doesn't, because Ben White does tend to get a little bit cooked on the defensive side, and Urian Timber was so good one-on-one. You didn't have to worry about getting shredded on that right side. So All in all, I think he had an excellent season. One of the best players in the squad. Jakob Kivior, rumored to be leaving this summer. I really hope we keep him. He wasn't played at all at the probably first 3 quarters of the season. He only got to play once Gabriel got injured, and he once again kind of came in to kind of help us in our campaign at the back end of last season when um Zinchenko got injured. He really kind of stepped in to fill in that left back role for us, and he was good again when we needed him in the that left center back position again this season, and he really is a tool. And we kind of need squad players like Kivio on the team, who's able to just come off and you don't feel the drop off that much. I think he's a really good team player and he's someone that's excellent for our squad. We kind of use him when we need to. It's a shame he doesn't get more time because I think he's one of those players that builds more confidence the more he plays. And he actually looked less shaky than Saliba in Champions League at some points, at certain stages. So there's that. So I think I really hope we keep him. So we also wouldn't have to spend money on another backup centre back. Even though I think we do need probably one more backup centre back because of exits. Zinchenko, he wasn't used this season at all. I'm not sure why. He was fit for a lot of the season, and I think defensively, I think Arteta just did not want to use him. I really don't understand why we were so quick to just completely dropping off the face of the map. I think we could have used him in games where we were facing low blocks and we really need to pick a lock. We would still just not play him, even though he's so good on the ball. He's so good at progressing the ball and overloading that midfield. He's still a good footballer. Yes, he gets cooked when you have to defend, but when you're playing against teams and that's in that deep low block, we should have been using him more. He's not going to be here at the end of the season, so that's a big shame. It's actually crazy how fast we moved on from him. I still don't. Man, I still feel like we should have used him more and we should have been keeping him. I don't think we should be looking at another left back, but it is what it is. It's what we're doing. Takehiro Tomiyasu, he doesn't play for Arsenal Football Club. Essentially, he basically doesn't play for us. As soon as whenever he's not injured, whenever that is, I guess we'll try to move him on. But we can't even count on him as a squad player or squad depth because he's just always injured. I can't remember the last time he played. When was the last time Tomiyasu played like 3 games in a row? I don't know. Ricardo Calafiori, rough season for him. He just had constantly having small injuries over and over and over again. He never really got going. I think on the ball, he's extremely good. He's brave. He's able to progress that ball, move forward. Man, just realized they didn't have Miles Lewis Skelly in here. Anyway, he's able to move forward and progress the ball, but he just gets cooked on that left wing. In the left back position. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen with him. Well, it's kind of weird. Like, my opinion on Calafiori is very. I felt like I don't have a grasp of what he does correctly yet because he just hasn't played enough games. He's like mainly plays at centre back, but when we play him on that left back position, he doesn't defend very well and he overloads the midfield and progresses forward and he has a good strike of the ball. He's a very weird player to profile. I don't know what we're gonna do with him next season, but we need to use him. I think he's too good on the ball, and he was just too expensive of a signing. Honestly, we we must be using Califury, whether that be in that centre back position and we sign left back depth, or keep him as left back and we sign centre back depth. But we should be signing maximum one defender, cheap as well, a young gun who could come in and just add more squad depth. There's also Mads Lewis Skelly, who had his breakout season. He's not on the Arsenal website on this page for our starters, for our squad. Because, yeah, he just wasn't here, which is bizarre. Maybe because he was underage when at the start of the season, maybe. But Mads Lewis Skelly has probably been one of the brightest parts of our season. I think we just spawned a gem, an absolute gem. But his confidence, his skill, his strength. If you're an Arsenal fan, I don't think I need to tell you how good this kid is, how good this kid has been. And it got to the point where he basically displaced Califury from that left back position because he was just as good, if not better, on the ball. And he was better defensively as well. The kid's a monster. I think with the right guidance, he is the future at Arsenal, whether that be at left back or coming into the midfield, because he's a midfielder. I'm good. I'm actually fine with MLS being our starting left back next season. He's good enough. He's good enough. He's strong enough. And if he's having a bad run of form, we have Califury. Or if Arteta wants to sign another left back, we have that. Also remember, Urian Timber can also play left back position, and Ben White. And with Ben White and Urian Timber like fit, we have options in our defense. We have a lot of options. Midfield, Thomas Partey. He had probably the best season I've seen from Thomas Partey in a while, not only in terms of what he's able to do, but his availability. I can't remember a season where Thomas Partey basically, I don't think he picked up an injury this season. I think the only game I could remember him really sitting out was the Real Madrid. I mean, not Real Madrid. That PSG. Well, oh yeah, did he sit out Real Madrid? No, he didn't get. No, okay, I'm getting it mixed up. He got the yellow card in the second half of in the second leg at Real Madrid, and he missed the first leg at PSG, and yeah, that wasn't an injury, but he has been excellent this season. A lot of people consider him our best midfielder this season. I agree. Sorry, I disagree. I would still give it to Declan Rice, but I think it's a one or the other for me. I'm cool with you having that opinion. I think what he does on the ball is extremely good. He's good defensively. And obviously there's contract negotiations with Thomas Partey, and we may or may not be getting rid of him, depending on his salary and the terms, or whatever they might be saying. I think the Thomas Partey situation is a much more nuanced approach than people think it is. I don't think it's as simple as we must sign him no matter what, because I've never seen Thomas Partey have an injury-free season like this. It feels like contract season. I've seen it before. We've all seen it before in sports. But I really hope that we do manage to get a proper negotiation to get him in the squad. And hopefully he can take a back seat for Martin Zubimendi, who we've all but confirmed is coming into the club. In fact, like if we don't get Martin Zubimendi and we don't end up signing him, I think it would be one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen from Arsenal Football Club, after seeing in the January transfer window that we all but confirmed his signature. So I think Fabrizio Romano did a here we go for him. So I'm pretty confident that we're getting Martin Zubimendi. So ideally, we will re-sign Partey and get Martin Zubimendi in, and we can actually have a little bit of a buffer. So Thomas Partey could take more of a backseat role to Zubimendi, teach Zubimendi how we play, and we're not replacing too many midfielders at the same time. Jorginho, he's leaving. I think Jorginho was really good for us last season. Honestly, I think he did it. His role in the club was good. He wasn't a starter, but he was good off the bench to help relieve us when during injuries or different games. Or I remember a lot of the times when we were trying to close out like a 1-0 or a 2-1, we'd get in Jorginho and he would just dictate the pace and we'd just see the game out. It's a shame that he's just older now and he wasn't trusted as much as Arteta this season. But it is what it is. I'm hoping that that kind of role that he had in the squad last season, where he's more of a relief guy, a really good squad player, I'm hoping that Thomas Partey could be that for Martin Zubimendi, because I'm hoping that Martin Zubimendi comes in and he's even better than Partey. I think a lot of Arsenal fans think that Thomas Partey is the only person who can play a DM role at Arsenal Football Club, which is kind of weird to me. People call him the unicorn. Dude, like honestly, we think we need as fans we need to stop being this attached to players and understand that when you sign quality, quality will shine. We just need to sign quality players. They will come in, they will bang. There isn't just one DM that can be a DM for Arsenal Football Club. So that's that. Mikel Moreno, we signed him in the summer, and let's be honest, I consider his signing mostly a failure because we signed him as a midfielder. I'm not sure if he was supposed to be a DM or an 8 or what he was supposed to be, but it didn't work. Every single time, well, unfortunately, at the start of the season, he got that shoulder injury in training and he was out for like 3 months. When he's coming in and when he plays in the midfield, he just does not look good. Like straight up. And our entire flow is just not good with Moreno in the field. With Moreno in midfield. I'm not sure if that's due to just us not being good this season or he's just not the right fit for us. But we don't look fluid and we don't progress the ball with Mikel Moreno in our midfield. Up top, though, he was extremely clinical for some reason. It was a joke. We all joked about it. We joked that Mikel Moreno up top, it was a meme. He was actually put up top and he kind of banged for a bit. So, yeah, I don't know what we do with Mikel Moreno. It's just... he's a body. I don't think we're going to play him up top. If we're having to play Mikel Moreno up top next season, we failed. That was a desperate move in a very desperate situation for us at the time with our injuries. We should not be playing Mikel Moreno up top next season. We just shouldn't. I'm guessing for next season, Mikel Moreno will be coming on to close out games or play in some of the very weak cup competitions. Declan Rice. I think Declan Rice is probably our best player this season. He was excellent. I think he's gone up a level. I was personally one of the guys who was kind of annoyed that Declan Rice was played in the 8 instead of the 6 because I thought last season with him in the 6 we were excellent. I was wrong. Declan Rice in the 8 has been great this season and he is just getting better and better and better and better at it. I think he wants to play in a more progressive role and he's passionate about playing like that, and it shows. It shows that he's working hard and he's actually getting better and better and better. And he has been great, and he has been one of our most clutch players this season. He is the shadow captain. He's a leader of men, and he has been, in my opinion, our player of the season. Yeah, it's just been great. And watching him being able to, he's not too much of a ball progressor per se, but he is able to make runs. Um, wait, yeah, he's able to make runs and get into spaces, make a run when he finds the space. He can shoot outside the box, and apparently has an awesome free kick. Two awesome free kicks. Martin Odegaard. Odegaard has probably had one of the worst seasons of his career at Arsenal Football Club this season. He just has not been good enough. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just don't know what happened. He fell off a cliff completely. People say it's the injury. I think maybe at one point, but at the moment, I don't think it's the injury. I think it's mental. I also think that it could be instructions from Arteta, because he's not playing as a 10, he's playing as an 8. Sometimes he's drifting so far back that he's behind our defenders. I don't know what's going on with Martin Odegaard, but, and like, from a mentality standpoint, I don't think he's captain material. Yes, I'm one of those guys. I don't think Martin Odegaard's a good captain. I want my captain to take charge. I want him to either win through example or win with instructions. He does neither. And his skill has just kind of just fallen off a cliff, honestly. I hope, I pray to God that he comes back next season, because we're not getting rid of him. And the club hasn't given up on him. But he cannot be our only 10. He just can't be. Because he's our only 10 that Arteta trusts. He was basically undroppable out of form. Maybe he's one of those guys that needed to take a break, and he never got that break. So he just kept playing over and over and over and over again off form. Maybe it's the pressure. I don't know what it is. But going into next season, we cannot be relying on Martin Odegaard alone to win the league or win trophies, because if he's off form and this continues into next season, we're screwed. And we don't want that. We actually want a good summer transfer window. Ethan Nwaneri, he's not here, but I'll speak about him as well. Another shining light of the season, bro kid. He actually has magic, something about him. He was excellent for the games that he played. On that right wing when Saka was injured, he came in and it was just a great season. Him and MLS, Malta was the best parts for me of the season, the parts that gave me the most hope, the parts that got me the most excited, because it's always great to see good academy players come in and do their thing. Nwaneri is extremely talented, and it's really good to see some flair on the pitch. I sometimes I feel like we can play a little bit too robotic, and Nwaneri is just one of those guys who could come in and just make a difference, do something special. For some reason, we're not playing him as a 10 anymore. He's not trusted at the 10. And honestly, he's not even getting a game towards this in the last couple games at the back end of this season here. And it's bizarre. It was bizarre seeing Odegaard perform as poorly as he has been, and Nwaneri not getting any minutes in the 10. I don't know what's happening. I really hope that it's just some, like, I don't have an explanation for you. I really hope that it's some tactics thing or something else because I don't think I can forgive Arteta for not giving Waneri a proper chance, because he is something special and we should be giving him a good chance to break into this first team, especially when our starters aren't performing. If our starters were performing, I would be I would understand, but when our starters aren't performing and or they're being overplayed and we need relief and he's available and he's not being played, that becomes a problem for me. And I hope it's something that I'm not seeing next season. We need this kid. We are light. We need every proper footballer to help the squad. And he's one of those guys. I really hope he just kicks off next season, has a great season, on like to the point where we're talking about him being a starter and displacing some of our starters, because I think he has the potential to be good enough to be like that. Saka, I really don't think I need to say anything about Saka. He's probably our most charismatic star boy. He is our attack, essentially. We saw it when he got injured. We didn't know what we had. I think if he didn't get injured, he would have had his best season pretty much ever. Actually, I actually don't know Saka's stats this season. Let's see. 12 goals and 14 assists. He has 26 GA. I didn't even know he had 26 GA. Yeah, and this is him being 3 months injured. Like, bro, help my boy. Help him. He needs help. Okay? We get a proper striker in. We get someone that actually can cook on that left-hand side. It's over. Help my boy. You know what I'm saying? He is too good to not have a trophy. He's just too good. We just need to do our business. We need to do our business this off-season, man. Like, we just have to. Gabriel Jesus, injured for pretty much the entire season. It sucks, but it is what it is. I think he's not even going to be back for the start of next season. He's going to be coming back like 2026, I'm pretty sure. I think Gabriel Jesus' time at Arsenal is pretty much finished. When we cannot rely on him. His knees are gone. They're finished. It's gone. It sucks that it happens to someone so young, but it's over. Gabriel Martinelli. I think Martinelli has probably peaked. I don't think he's good enough to be a starter for Arsenal Football Club. I would want him for depth, but I think he has proven that he's just not that guy. He still plays like he's 19. His decision making is just not good, and he just runs. Sometimes he just runs down. He runs onto the wing, like loses the ball. He goes at times. Every now and again, he will have a really good game, but I think that's his level, and I do not think it's a coaching thing. I think the people who say that the reason why Martinelli isn't good is because of Arteta is talking absolute horse shit, because a lot of the times Saka's being triple teamed, quadruple teamed on that right hand side, and Martinelli has a free run at the defender, and he just doesn't beat his man or beats his man. Well, doesn't beat his man, or he does nothing when he beats his man. Like, Arteta isn't telling Martinelli to not look up to cross a ball. He isn't telling Martinelli not to attack the defenders, because it's not like he's not trying to. He does. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And it's okay. Arteta is to blame for a lot of things, but he's not to blame for Martinelli not being an excellent player. That's not it. Some players just don't work out, and I think he's good squad depth, but he's not starting quality for Arsenal Football Club. He just isn't, and that's why all of us as Arsenal fans are screaming for a world class level left winger. Same with Trossard. I think Trossard is objectively he has been better this season, and he does he produces more moments, he produces more goals than Martinelli. But the problem with Trossard is that when Trossard stinks, he stinks. His highs are a lot higher and his lows are a lot lower, in my opinion. I think he's a good squad player as well. I think whether we keep Trossard or Martinelli and just have them as a squad depth for a starting left winger, I'm happy with that. Either or. Each have their pros and their cons. I think Martinelli is better defensively. His work rate's excellent. I think Trossard's better offensively. He's able to produce some magic and score some goals for us. Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz might be one of the worst signings that Arsenal Football Club has ever had. And it's not because he's a terrible player, but I think what he did in terms of not him, but his effect on the team has just been negative overall for me personally. I think Arteta needing Havertz to work has kind of clouded his judgment and has made it so that he has to work. And he's just not that guy for his price. I think Havertz is definitely excellent squad depth. I think he can be a really good second option for a world-class or a good striker coming into the football club. But the fact that we paid so much for him and his salary is so high just makes it so that the manager feels like he has to force him into the team. I think that's the wrong approach. I think we just do what's best for the team. He bought him as a midfielder. It didn't work. He's really good false nine. Let him be that false nine. Let him come off the bench. Let him get a couple run of games if someone's injured or if someone needs a break. And I think it'll be good. I think we cannot rely on Kai Havertz as a starter. I think that's just the way it is. He is a very good squad player. He'd probably be our best squad player. He'd be the 12th man in the team. And I think championship winning teams need that. We need someone like that to come off the bench. But he's just not that guy starting. And I think we all know that. I think we all know that we don't want Kai Havertz starting in the midfield, and we don't want Kai Havertz starting as our number 9. We just don't. I think it'll probably be best for him to be our squad depth in the striking position, and he should also be squad depth in the number 10 position maybe. I don't know. We're not going to get rid of him. That's just the way it is. But I think it just hasn't worked. And the only thing that's really screwing up the Havertz thing is the pricing, to be honest. It's the salary and the price. If Kai Havertz was 40 million and his price and he was on 150k a week, I think we would be fine. I think it would have been fine, but I think the idea of Kai Havertz having Arteta needing Kai Havertz to work, the fact that his salary probably does have a very strong effect on us being able to sign players, at least last summer. I think that just has a sour taste in everyone else's mouth. I think if we use him correctly, and we put the team before egos, and we put everyone in a position for them to succeed, most of the fan base would turn around on Kai Havertz and he'll actually be even more loved than he is. But I think the cult following of the Havertz people, the Havertz guys, and the fact that Arteta is kind of forcing him into the squad is really what hurts. Raheem Sterling, I don't really need to say much on this guy. He's not a footballer. He's probably one of the worst footballers I've seen in my life playing for Arsenal Football Club. I've never seen a guy just lose the ball on every single take on that he did. He was slow. He was crap. He was a terrible, terrible, terrible signing. The worst player on the squad, bar none. Hein, he's on loan. I really don't know much about this kid. I think last season he came in for a couple of the cup games and he looked kind of shaky. And it's pretty obvious the way that we're trying to do business in the summer that he's not going to be the guy to be our backup goalkeeper. I don't think Arsenal thinks he's good enough. Tavares, I think he's there's an obligation to buy for him, and I think it was 6 million or something like that, but we're getting rid of him this season. Fabio Vieira, L signing wasn't good enough, and that's okay. It's okay. Lokonga, L signing, not good enough. Don't need to say much on him. Nelson, I think if we had Nelson instead of Raheem Sterling this season, that would have been a better option. But I think his time at Arsenal is pretty much finished. I don't know what we do with him. He's not going to be squad depth. He's not going to be starting over one area on the right. And yeah, I think we just need to get rid of him next season. Marquinhos, L signing, I don't really need to say more on that. Sorry, I'm just skimming over these players, but I'm just trying to think about. I don't care how much money we get from selling players. All I care about is who we bring in, and how we strengthen our squad, and kind of reflecting on our actual season. You know what I'm saying? I really, I don't give a monkeys about that. In terms of players coming in, we're linked to. It seems I spoke a bit about Martin Zubimendi already. Gyökeres is probably going to end up being. I really, really hope that Victor Gyökeres is going to be our starting striker next season. We need him. We need an out-and-out goal scorer. We need a guy who could just put the ball at the back of the net. He just won the league with Sporting Lisbon, so he's a winner. His stats are absolutely magnificent, and he has a high number of assists, which means he can play. He is a baller. I don't think he's missed a single penalty this season, and people kind of want to shit talk the fact that he scores a lot of penalties. Let us be honest here. We do not have a bona fide penalty taker at Arsenal Football Club. Bukayo Saka's our best penalty taker, and he's pretty good, but he's not like a bona fide penalty taker. Victor Gyökeres just makes us a much better penalty takers. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we need him. I think we need to do everything in our power to get him. I don't want to. I'm hearing people saying Embuemo false 9. Nah. We need a proper out and out striker. We're not getting Isaac. Give it a rest. Okay? Let's just get Victor Gyökeres and do some business. We also linked to Rodrigo, and well, we'll see. He's the dream. He's who I would want. And I think honestly we're Arsenal fans, we suffer. We suffer. You know what I'm saying? Give us a superstar. Help us, make us feel confident going into next season. Please. Please. We need this. We need this. I am actually on my knees. I think whatever the price we pay, You didn't do any business in January. You made a profit last summer. The January before that, you didn't do any business either. Two January transfer windows in a row, Arsenal didn't sign anyone. So we are owed. You have the money. Spend the money. I also think we need a. Well, I talk about the number 10. I don't know who that's going to be. I don't have an answer for you. We just need another option. Just to relieve Odegaard. I think Cunha wouldn't be a bad shout because at least Cunha could play in that 10 and left wing role if we needed him to. But we just need someone. My only problem with Cunha is that I'm not sure how good he plays off that left. I kind of like Rodrigo because he'd be playing mostly off the left, and if we needed him to play in the 10, we could play him. So that's I guess the last thing to talk about would be this guy. This guy. I'm saying this guy. Mikel Arteta. It's pretty divisive talking about Arteta. I don't think he should be here anymore. I think he's gotten enough time. But the club doesn't think like that. The club's giving him another season. And I was angry before, a lot angrier, and I've calmed down because I've had more time to process. And objectively speaking, even though I don't want him here this season, I'm willing to accept the Cronkies getting in Berta and having another go with him. I disagree, but I am not enraged. I think he's on his last. I think this is his last shot. I think he's going to get back this summer. I don't think there's a way that Arsenal gets away with not doing the business. But Mikel Arteta needs to evolve as a manager. He needs to stop being a pussy. He needs to actually dig deep and play good attacking football. And he's already gotten the defense down. We know he can play attacking football. He needs to put it all together, and he needs to win something. And not just a cup competition. He needs to win a major. He needs to win that league. I think these players have gone long enough without winning. I think the club's gone long enough without winning. I appreciate what he's done to get the club back into this point, but it's winning time. It's winning time. People are pretty upset about this comments that he made at the end of the season or whatever, but I don't really care. Honestly. I just want performances. I just want us to win. And the club thinks that he's the guy, and I'm willing to put that aside. I saw some things from Arteta this season that I'm not happy with. I'm not happy with his squad rotation. I'm not happy with the defense. I think our defense was a bit shakier this season. I'm not happy with not going for it. But it was the first time he dealt with one of his major players getting an injury. So, I don't know. That can be an excuse. I don't know. But he's on his last legs. He doesn't have any more lives. And I really hope that we can do something this season. Well, next season. So yeah. That is my assessment of the season and kind of what I want going forward. A lot of talking, a lot of waffling. This video is probably way longer than I think it should be, but I just had to just wanted to talk about the season and get some things off my chest and just doing an assessment because we got that top 4 secured and we can kind of finally look past our season and go forward. Okay. Anyway, if you like the video, please like the video, and if you want to see more, please subscribe. Thank you for making it to the end if you made it to the end, and I'll see you next time.